I mean, I don't even like this word fate. Let's just leave fate out of it. Because the moment I say fate, something pops into my mind. And a lot of the time when I'm trying to discuss this issue, but they say, but fate, I say, just forget that word fate, please. Just forget it. Okay? What do Muslims believe? We believe in qadr wal qadar, the measure and the decree. We believe, and what does it really come down to? It's very simple. We believe that, number one, God knows everything that is going to happen. Yeah? So this. Everything. Big, small, everything, God knows it. Number two, it's all been written down. 50,000 years before Allah created this universe and this creation, everything was written down in the Lawh al-Mahfuz, the preserved tablet, that was going to happen from the beginning of creation to the end. Including who's going to go to paradise, who's going to go to hellfire, which leaf would fall where, which raindrop would fall where, which atom would vibrate at what rate, everything. Who would be the next president of the United States? Who will win the next election? It's all been written down. From God's knowledge, He knew everything that is going to happen, and it's all been written down in Lawh al-Mahfuz. Yeah? So that's one. God knows everything. Number two, that's the knowledge of God. The second is kitab, the writing. The third is the mashiach of Allah. That means that nothing can happen unless God lets it happen. We wouldn't be sitting here today unless God let us sit here today. Nothing takes place in this universe unless God let it happen. And everything has been created by God. Nothing creates itself. Nothing brought itself into existence. So everything that happens because Allah let it happen, and God has created everything. Yeah? That doesn't contradict free will. Because one of the things that Allah let happen is that He let us choose whether we would obey Him or disobey Him. He created the world in which we live. He created the world the way it is, and part of the way that Allah created that world is that He gave us the choice to obey Him or disobey Him. Even though He knew from His knowledge, before He created everything, whether we would obey Him or not. He knew it. He did not force us to obey Him or disobey Him. We did that from our choice. He did not compel us. And I will give you a simple example. Okay? Imagine you are all my students, and you've been my students now for 3 years here at the university. I know all of you very, very well. Okay? I know you so well that I predict your grades. So I have some knowledge of you. Yes? My knowledge of you allows me to predict your grades. And I write down the prediction of those grades. Does my knowing it and my writing it down force you to pass or fail or to get those grades? Does it force you to do that? Does it compel you to do that? Yes or no? No, you still choose to study, to work, to do whatever. But I know, and of course if my knowledge is greater, then I know even more. I'm not comparing the human beings to God. I'm just saying, if this is true and it is possible with human beings, it is more possible with Allah. So therefore, this person is mixing the ideas up. They are thinking that God's knowing it and God's writing it means God's forced us to do it. No. Okay? We obey or disobey Allah from our choice. The consequences of our actions determine what happens to us ultimately. Although, of course, Allah knows what is going to happen to us and what we're going to choose to do. Yeah? Don't ask me anything more than that, because that's all I can say. I can't explain it any better than that.
Are there any further questions? I'd like to remind you that you can speak to Brother Abdul in person. And inshallah. And there's just a couple of announcements, inshallah, before we close. The first one is, I'd like to invite you to our next event tomorrow, inshallah. You can see up on the screen. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the man, the mission, the message. That will be delivered by Abu Aliya in the Bodhi Lecture Theatre in the Centenary Building. So I'd like to invite you to that. Also, I'd like to also inform you of Westminster University. They're having their annual dinner on Wednesday the 9th of March. So if anybody would like tickets for that, please contact the ISOC. And there's also there's also double material at the back, inshallah, so please take a look at that. And it's all free. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.